The second issue, where we have fallen into this picky kind of religiosity, which is taking some parts of the revelation and leaving other parts, which is a very sad fact about the state of marriages within Muslim communities and Muslim populations. There are people who are great spouses. There are people who are great husbands and great wives. They live their life in peace, mutual understanding, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and their lives or their houses are full of love. They're full of respect. And they are full of problems. There is no marriage without a problem. There is no relationship without a problem. There is no marriage without challenges. There is no human beings without mistakes and weaknesses. There is no perfect child. There is no perfect parent. The challenge is not to have a problem-free marriage. And the challenge is to be able to live a peaceful, merciful, compassionate life, even when there are problems. The challenge is not to respect your wife when she is respectful and helpful. The challenge is that you are able to respect your wife, accommodate her, help her, and guide her when she acts disrespectfully, when she acts defiantly, when she has issues. That's the challenge. And to a wife, your greatness as a wife doesn't really show much when your husband is kind and careful and generous and available. Your generosity and your greatness and your excellence as a wife shows when there are challenges, when your husband says something wrong, when he's at some stage unavailable, when probably he acts disrespectfully sometimes, when he loses his balance. That's when you can shine. There is no perfect home, because this is not what this life is designed for. This is not paradise. So the challenge is not to have no arguments in the house. The challenge is not to have an argument-free relationship between husband and wife. That's not going to happen. And if this is the case, there is no marriage. There's something wrong. Someone is suffering in silence. Someone is bottling up at some stage that would blow up and that would break down. Where does this problem come in? When we believe in parts of the book and leave other parts, is when all what the husband cares about is my rights. I have a lot of people approaching me and they ask me only about their rights. And they want me to preach to their wife the rights of the husband. Wives who approach me and they want me to speak to their husband about the rights of the wife, and so on and so forth. Everyone is just fighting for their rights. And once we have this kind of attitude to marriage, we cannot make any use of rights and obligations, because that's not how the house is built upon. We're not in a court. We're not trying to have a legal battle to win, because that's not going to win us our marriage. It will just leave us on bitter terms. So you will find the husband fighting for his rights. There are sisters that are suffering a lot, and when they speak to their husband, the only answer the husband has is that this is how I am, I can't change, and if you are patient with me, you will enter paradise. That's the only answer they have. Fulfill my rights and be patient, you will enter paradise. You have wives who say to their husbands, well, Allah is trying you through me, and if you divorce me, I will take the children, and I will put you in so much trouble, and so on and so forth. Same thing. Be patient. We can, keep sailing through these troubled waters, and then our children will grow in the same house, and then Allah will reward you for your suffering. Husband is fighting for his rights, wife is fighting for her rights. And we're getting nowhere. We're getting nowhere. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us about the rights of the husband and the rights of the wife, there is a balance. There is a context. There is a context for that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that He built this relationship of the marriage. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. He built among you love, compassion and mercy. That's what the house, that's what the household, that's what the marriage is built upon. And this is how can a marriage can survive. The problem is when we live this kind of life, when I approach my wife in the same way a lawyer approaches their opponent, what's going to happen to the children? How as a man would I accept a woman to suffer in my house and still call myself a believing man? How come? I don't know how people accept for themselves that I let a human being suffer because of me and I don't care. And I don't know how some women turn their lives of their husbands and their family into hell and still can go through life and do shopping and other things. And the Arabs used to say something very profound, very profound. And it's about al-muru'ah. It's about good judgment. It's about good character. It's something you don't find in books. It's something you can't learn by means of a tweet or some kind of a book. This is something you pick up as you go. This is some kind of wisdom you pick up as you grow through life, as you pay attention, as you try to learn. The Arabs say, من قبل من نفسه بالإساءة شهد على أصله بالدناءة. Whoever accepts like bad things to come from himself, then he has witnessed that he comes from a bad origin. He comes from a bad origin. So when it comes to the household, to the relationship between husband and wife, the only way it can survive, the only way it can thrive, the only way our children can grow, and this is definitely a topic for another khutbah, because this is some sort of an epidemic. As I said, we have great households. Really, I've seen as well shining examples of husbands, and I've seen some examples of sisters who are great wives, and these are beautiful examples to learn from. But still, a lot of us are suffering. A lot of houses are suffering. What's going to happen to the children? How will they grow when they are in the middle of a battle between a husband and a wife? And the reason is, I want my rights, she wants her rights. Everyone is just believing in that part of the book. Yet you find the Prophet ﷺ, for example, he speaks to men. He says, "Istawsu bin nisa'i khayra." He says, take good care of women. That's my advice to you when I leave. That's what he's saying. Take care of women. فَإِنَّهُنَّ عَوَانٍ عِنْدَكُمْ. The Prophet ﷺ says they are sort of captives in your houses. So the Prophet ﷺ speaks to men, take care of them. Don't humiliate them. Don't make them suffer. Take care of them. Give them love. Give them attention. Give them care. Be a true husband. And with the Prophet ﷺ, he speaks to the women. He warns them that the two things that could lead a woman to the hellfire. He says, تُكْثِرْنَا اللَّعْنَ وَتَكْفُرْنَا الْعَشِيرِ. That you swear a lot, you use bad language, and you live in denial to the contributions and the good things your husband has already extended to you. You feel entitled to all of this. So the Prophet ﷺ advises here and advises there. Why? Because it's by way of balance. It's not by way of having legal battles. That's not how marriages work. So I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve our houses and preserve all these families that we have, so that we can bring up our children in the best of ways. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمن لهم حق علينا. اللهم أبرم لهذه الأمة أمر رشد يعز فيه أهل طاعتك ويذل فيه أهل معصيتك ويعمل فيه بكتابك وسنة نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم كن للمستضعفين من المؤمنين في كل مكان. اللهم احقن دماءهم وصن أعراضهم. اللهم احفظ عليهم دينهم وإيمانهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا